Hi again then guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 3 speed build, this time for another requested car, specifically a DLC vehicle, the Mazda Savannah RX7, aka the FC RX7. I love this car. One of the main reasons actually why I love the FC RX7 is because it's the only RX7 to have a 2+2 seat layout, and I'm a sucker for performance cars that are also practical. Of course, legroom isn't that great, but the fact that it has those two extra seats is so cool to me. I love that. Now, as far as the tuning on this particular car, some people won't like the fact that I've fitted the V8. Of course not. As I've said with a number of JDM cars, it's not a tune for purists. If you want to go for something like the quad rotor from the 787B, that's totally understandable. You can see from the specs, it would appear to make your top speed far better, even though it's far less powerful. I actually tried it with that engine as well, and it's not as quick. Nowhere near, in fact. It's around 20 miles per hour off the pace. So you can go for it if you want to, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend having it. Now, as far as the drivetrain, I would also recommend all-wheel drive. Again, not for purists, but it helps you out a lot off the line, and of course, off-road as well. For the aspiration, you want that twin-turbo to get the peak power. The body kit, as always, is optional. You could go for a sleeper look. Personally, I think the body kit on this one looks fantastic. It has a very Group B homologation special look to it, like a Delta or an E30 M3. Well, that wasn't Group B, but you know what I mean. And then as far as the rest, you guys know the drill. Increase that power as much as you can, fit all of the race parts, lower the weight as well. As a general rule, basically for everything that has race in the title. Stuff like roll cages and wings, that kind of thing, is optional, so I'll leave that down to you, of course. This tune, if I remember correctly, is not on my storefront though. I believe I kept this one as a YouTube exclusive. So if you want this tune, you'll have to follow the tutorial or do your own variation of it. Of course, I encourage that always. As far as the benchmark goes, it's very, very strong. No way near as strong if you fit that quad rotor. The quad rotor is a gorgeous engine, but it simply doesn't give you the best top-end speed. Now, as far as the gearbox, I'd recommend a 2.7 final drive, then individual gears of 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.18, 0.95, and 0.76. Then as far as alignment, neutral camber, neutral toe, I've gone for 1 degree of caster to improve the manoeuvrability. Anti-roll we've got on 30 and 21. Springs we've got on 159, 189, and I've opted for the lowest ride height. Dampers we've got on 14 and 6 respectively. Aero, of course, doesn't apply. And as far as the diff, as I often do, as I usually do in fact, 100% on the acceleration bias, 0 on deceleration, and then, again, as I often use, a 70% split in favour of that back end. If you want it to be more tail happy, of course, you could take it up to, say, 75 or even 80 or higher if you want to, but you will lose a little bit of that prime launch off the line, and that is one of the biggest advantages of all-wheel drive, getting that power down. But that's it for the tune overall. We're quoted at 269 miles per hour. So let's take it out on the street and see if it can actually do that. Now, as I mentioned, as much as I would love to use that quad rotor engine, it sounds better, it revs higher, it's just a cooler engine to have, and it's also more appropriate to the car, of course. It's a shame that it just doesn't give you as much top-end power and top-end speed, because I would personally much rather use that engine. The simple fact is, though, the V8 gives you so much more top-end speed, a lot more power as well, and so if you do decide to use this car and some variation of this tune, then of course I hope you have a lot of fun with it, and there are hundreds more tunes like this to check out here on the channel. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.